Recording. 3, 2, 1. What?
Hi, this is Arvind. We got part 2 of Remine, and I'm going to show you a few other steps that will help you use Remine. So, we've talked before about the filter systems on your left side and also on the top. Now I want to show you how the properties and the property profile works. So let's click on one of the properties. So the one I'm clicking on is this one here. If you're going to do a listing presentation for this particular property, then click on the property. This is the property that you're listing on. Click on it. And what we'll do now is get to the property profile, and there's 2 parts to it. So if you're doing a listing presentation, that's one, or even if you're door knocking, you can print. And if you look right on top, you can print, and it will give you, I'm going to do a print. I'm not going to do a sample. I'd rather show you what it's going to look like. And here it is. And it will print. You can double side this. It shows 5 pages right on top. And it will show your name and everything, DRE numbers, property. It shows the taxes, public record information. And when you're door knocking, you could also take it to them, especially when you're target door knocking. You can apply this to the doors and leave it there, or you can give it to them and hand it out. You can also tell them, look, there's some valuations that are guesstimates, and if you want to get a more accurate guesstimate valuation, give you a call or let you come into the home, and I'll give you a tour of the home and give them a complimentary CMA. So this is one way to do it from here as well. So using this, they could say, well, my price of the home is not, it's not right here. So you can say, absolutely, why don't you give me a tour of your home and I'll give you a more complimentary CMA. With that said, you get demographics of the market information, years average income, also transactions history of this particular person, and you also got when they refi. This one's got $699 showing up for $213,000. Telephone numbers and everything if you're upgraded. If not, it won't be available to you. But I've shown you before, fastpeoplesearch.com. You can go and see it there. So I'm going to close that. So let's get back to property profile. If you are door knocking and if you have this available to you, you can also share it and get the recipient's email and put the email in there, and you're ready to go. Okay? So type a little message and you can do it then and there. This is also, Remine is also available as a mobile app. So you can download the mobile app and you can use it in the field as well. Personally, I would use some kind of a larger screen, have it to your hand, and then you can actually manipulate it from there. So the choices are yours. Let's help you describe what this is all about. So map, you can zoom in and zoom out. There's a property, picture of it. And this is all coming from Google. Here's the property information, single family residence, address, 3-bedroom, 3 baths, square footage, what acreage, and there's the name of the client. In this case, I've told you before, if it's highlighted like this in blue, click on it and see if they do own multiple properties. In this case, it's multiple properties, or they could have lived at those properties. That we don't know the exact information yet, but you can also double check it with title. Okay. Next, they've owned it for 21 years. So it gives you all the details. Estimated net equity, they've got $493,000. Estimated value possibly $900. I'll come to that in a minute. It also gives you the sales score. It shows low, but you never know. 21 years is about time to move. Who knows, right? APN number, it's out here too. If you think you want to edit this property and this upgrade or update the information, you can also do it from here and send it over to Remine, and they'll update it for you. There's the tax record for this particular property. It's quite a bit of information here. Key stats: occupancy, occupied, Fountain Valley address, mailing address, Garages, net equity is set up here. Active mortgage, in this case, he's got 6.35% HELOC. If they've got a pool, in this case, they have a pool. So a lot of things you can actually determine from here and also add to your listing information when you get back after signing the listing with the client. And you can actually use this as more feedback for you to be able to help you towards the listing information while you're inputting it. Flood zone, utilities, heating, gas, structure, storage too. Here's the good one. If you're doing an open house, watch this, the grade schools. You can talk to the buyers and tell them, hey, this is what the grade schools are in this area, okay? It's also coming from this setup. Here's the valuation. It's showing 892, high is 906. There's a rental estimate as well available. This information is coming to you from First American, Black Knight, Zillow, e-appraisal, okay? There's some few information here of percentage of high and low, or what has happened in the last year and 5 years. So it gives you all the details. So you can notice there's a difference between First American and Zillow. Zillow tends to be different, and this is something you have proof now to show it to your clients. Is look, here's Zillow, and this is what Zillow looks like. In our case, we have better value from First American, Black Knight, and e-appraisal. We don't have to worry about the other company. Household education information, income, ownership, residence. It shows you a lot of information. History on the properties as well. And with that said, you've also got the different companies that have done the mortgage for the clients. Name of the clients at the bottom. And you can click on the highlighted items and you'll be able to get to the additional properties that they own. Okay? So let's go on the top, and you want to now provide the client a CMA. There's a couple of ways to do it, but I want to show you how Remine CMA works. So let's click on Remine CMA. So it has a map set up for you. And this map is depending on the circle radius, and I think it's quarter miles default. But let's move forward and I'll show you what I'm talking about first. Beds, it's going to select from 2 to 5. Baths is going to select 2 to 5. Square footage, if you know it, you can put it in. I don't remember seeing it, so I'm going to let it be. Year built, number of floors, you can say 2. You can leave that out, because pick up other properties as well, basement and everything else. My recommendation is building type, single family. With the status, I would actually add active under contract as well. Get more properties on the time frame that it's sold, but don't worry about it. What I want to do is get half a mile radius. And that's what most appraisers use. In my case, I would recommend that, but it's all up to you. Do a search, and it's going to start finding the properties. And while it's loading, it will show up here. So it showed up 23 properties. Now you can select and remove the ones that you feel that it shouldn't be part of it. Or if you feel half a mile radius is too much, go back, edit it, and change it to a quarter mile, and then hit apply. You got 9 properties. So if this is more of an accurate read for you, then you've got 7 closed, 1 pending, 1 active out of the 9 properties. So that's good. If you notice, if as I hover over this particular property, number 1, on your right hand side in the map, it's selecting that same year. 2, the balloon basically moves. All right? So once that is done, you've selected all these properties, you feel comfortable with it. If you want to remove it, you can always remove it. You want to see a little bit more about the property, then it will give you more information. Save it and continue. Now in this case, I'm going to put a test only. and it's going to print out a preview of what the CMA is going to look like. So you can print the CMA also, and this is what it's going to start off with. So in my case, I've selected the client's name test. I'm going to save it. You do have to put in that. If you don't put that in, then it won't let you go forward. So here's all the information regarding the CMA. And days on the market has been 20 days. For lowest has been for 4 days. High has been 52. List or sold differences. So depending on how the properties were sold and at what pricing, lows were -3%, high was 1%. Estimated value is showing at 979 or 976. Low was at 725, high was $1 million. High schools give you all the details here. Average valuation estimated is 887. First American e-appraisal 0. Comparable properties, and it now goes through all the different properties that you had selected. Okay? So at this stage, if you're comfortable with it, then you can do is print. If you hit print and select the property, what you're going to get is a folder that you can create, and it's going to download here that you can print, and it's a PDF that's going to show up. So just bear with me while it's loading, and then we'll go forward from here. So my internet's a little, there we go. So here's the property. It's got 5 pages, and you can double-side it as you wish, and you can print it up, present it to the clients. And this is what it's going to look like. It's got all the details coming from the CMA, and here are the different properties that you can evaluate. Okay? And that's all done. You can now print it from here, and you're ready to go. So I'm going to close the PDF, go back here, and I'm done. So that's for the CMA. I can close it. Okay, I'm back to the property profile. So with the property profile, this is what you're getting, and you can door knock, as I said, and also work with by cold calling, depending on which way you want to work on the system. So let me go back and show you a couple of things here. I'm going to go back to Discover. I'm going to close this out. Keep an eye out something here. You notice this? You had selected, so when you click on that, you need to remove that star. In order for you to remove the star is by clicking on the star here. It will then remove it and create a blue dot. Always, always, always remember things like that. Always clear things. In this case, I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to the first page. Okay? I want to show you a few tips of how to use this system effectively and how to help you farm the area. So let's start with a couple of things. I'm going to do is create a square. In my case, I'm going to do a larger square just for argument's sake. Okay? We want a home ownership of 20 years. Apply. And I want to work with sales score of high within that segment. So if we look carefully, the 20 years is there's only one. So something's wrong here, the way I see it. I'd say take 20 years out. What if I use home ownership 5 and up, and then apply that? There's a little bit more properties will show up. You can print this, and the way to print it is by, again, hitting track. It selected those properties. Go to track on your left hand side. It's got 7 properties. and you can select all 7 properties. Once you selected all 7 properties, now you can export it to a CSV file. Make sure you label it, right? So that's one way to sort out, and you notice these are all highs. But they are 5 years and above, and that's the selection you've done. After you've downloaded, make sure you always delete and clear the slate. Always. If you don't, you're gonna have difficulty, and you're gonna get frustrated in order for you to be able to move forward. Okay? I've also showed you how to print labels in that, but I'm gonna also show you this part here, send mailers. And this is a third-party company associated with Remine that you can actually do mailers out. So let's go select certain properties again. I'm going to clear this on top, and ownership time I'm going to pull out high sales score, but I want to market to all these properties. There's about 442. So select, go to track on your left hand side. There's the list. Okay. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you there are ways to actually go to the sending mailers. Okay. Create a campaign name. I'm just going to say test again on mine. You can create whatever you want to say. Let's go. It says you will be redirected to a third-party site momentarily. Go to Rocket Print and Mail. And now you can actually create postcards, letters. There's a lot of different things that you can choose and take it from there. $287 to send out these postcards. You can choose a design of your choice. General farming, absentee ownership, just sold. It's all there. You figure out which way you want to go. Okay? So even if I say general farming, continue, and boom, it's all there on both sides. There's the information. It's got your paid postcard information and everything's there. So very easy. All you need to do is get your logo and a few other information initially set up. Once you've done that, you got your marketing material ready to go. So I'm going to close this. That's from Rocket. Okay? So there's all your list. And you can mail, email, call, whatever you want. That's your choice. I'm going to show you a few things up here. People doesn't right now. I'll show you in a minute. Give me a second on this one. It's set up a little different way. I'm trying to navigate and help you, especially you have a basic version, and that's what I'm trying to show you. That's more interesting right now than all the fancy whistles, bells and whistles that comes with it. I don't want to confuse you. So let's initially go back to track. So this is the list that we had done. I want to do now is move on. So best way to do that is I need to delete it. Always delete. Once you've actually downloaded CSV file, delete it. And you are done basically. So you've cleared everything out. Okay? So go back to Discover. And now you want to form another area. Move your map up. Hit clear. And map another segment down. And in this case, we're going to do track. I'm going to go to track down here. Now what I want to show you is this segment up here. And this is also ways to sort through the system. So select all those properties. I want to do a mortgage age, and you can download anybody and everybody that have 6% and above interest rate. So you've got 18 of them. So you can select and download into a CSV file. And what you can do is now help and partner up with the lender and say, look, I'll provide you with all the people that, or leads that will help you generate 6% and above interest rate. And you can call them and use their information to help them reduce the monthly cost or reduce the annual percentage as well. So there's a couple of ways to look at it. All right. So right now, after you've downloaded it, it already shows you 6%. If you want to clear that, you can also do now ownership time of 20 years. There's 43 of them. You can download that as well by selecting it and export it. So you can filter as you wish. There's a lot of different things that you can do here. Home equities, flood zone, absentee ownership. You don't have absentee ownership, but I can guarantee you what happens is when you download this, let me show you how, and just bear with me, I'm trying to find my folder. Seems like shared. Let's open up this one here. Wrong folder. Okay, there you go. My mistake. Losing it, a little different here. I apologize. And 20 years and above. So if you look carefully, when you download, even on your basic system, you will get things like this, cell score. If you click on cell score and sort it, sorts it out for you, high, low. Those are the only two that's out there. What if you want to get absentee ownership? So, sort. Yes. And all the yeses will be down there if it's available. So I'm scrolling down. There's yeses. So there's a lot of things that you can do and play around with. Now this is the advanced part of it in Excel. Your choice. You can figure out which way you want to go. Sort it out. I can just go on top and all the yeses will be on top right now. Absentee ownership. Make sense? So you can then only work with those and select only those and take it from there. So other than that, that's the Excel part of it. Let's go back to Remine. And there we go. So what I want to do now is I need to clear everything that there is on this particular property. But if you are just browsing and you want to click on one of the properties, just one of them, you can click and get to the property profile. So there's a lot you can do from just about every angle on the system. If I go back, I'm back to the list. Okay? So there's a lot of information here. You can also, let's see if they have multiple properties. In this case, it shows the multiple properties. And these guys, these folks are basically ready to sell. It shows buy scores are high. It also comes from Facebook and various other sources. So you have some pretty good information coming to you. This is excellent marketing tool. And you can also sort ascending and descending. So there's a lot of things that you can play around with. Okay? Select all, delete. Okay? And you're done. Move on to the next area of the farm. So move your map, clear, Get the square, select. Now you can sort them out as well. You can even do it from home ownership time and fast sell, absentee ownership, building types, land use. All of these are available. What if I just want 6% and above in that area? Then I can even see those guys. Those are a few of them who's got 6% and above high interest rates. So you can be sorted through here as well. There's a lot of ways and multiple ways to sort things out, just to give you a heads up. So the last part I want to show you is if you are looking for properties that are not listed, but you want to create and find a property that is for your buyers, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and you want for your client a 2-story properties only, not a single story, but a 2-story. If you notice carefully, what has happened here is the filter system has selected properties, and you see this, most of these are 2-story buildings. I can sort that out, and I can even change that to a single story. 1 and 1. So if you want to downsize, look at the single stories now. The double stories are all blanketed, whereas the single stories are what I'm showing right now. And you can select those and get the list, or you can door knock those. Basically, this is target. Main thing is to target focus on your farm, and that's what you really want to do. Okay. So couple of things here I just want to help you with on support. If you go to support center, once it loads up, what I want you to do is, there's a lot of videos and everything else showing here as well. The software tends to be getting updated every so often, so just be aware of it. But on the support side, once my system loads up, what I want to show you is, just bear with me once this loads. Come on. Let me just refresh it, maybe that might. There you go. So in the search bar, what I want you to do is type in script. And if you type in script, it has a script for you as well. The sample script you can actually go through, and it will give you some ideas of sample letters or emails, sample for cold calling or door knocking. So they give you all this. You can go through it and help yourself with it. All right. With that said, also, let me just see. Hopefully, I'm not missing anything. But in most cases, I think I've covered most of it. You can also check your, like I said, you can check your downloads here, and you can also engage with people. Do your track. This is basically the left-hand taskbar, and your name, your information is down here too. So you're all done. I do want to thank you for spending time with me, and hope to see you soon with the next class. Have a nice day.